The Sports Scouting Report with Lieber King, brought to you by Harvey Autos in Shreveport, Bossier City, the name you've trusted for years. Geico, the insurance savings you expect. Supreme Chevrolet, expect more from Supreme Automotive Group in Gonzales.
Creed and Creed Law Firm, serious attorneys for serious injuries.
Bollinger Shipyards, 75 years of delivering high-quality vessels. Here's your host, Lieber King.
Hi everyone, Lieber King, your host. We've got a great show today with Patrick Taylor High School, the head football coach Kenny Bourgeois. We're going to talk about where the school is located. We're going to talk about how Coach became the head coach of a really young school that's really competed at an early level here in Louisiana, which is hard to win right away in football in Louisiana, being a new school. And we're going to talk a little bit about the school. You know, a lot of people don't know about Patrick Taylor. They call it Pat Taylor. And statewide, this show is in Monroe and Shreveport, and you'll get a chance to know about the school. We'll be right back.
Listen, whatever you're driving right now, Tommy Harvey wants it. Bring it in to Harvey Subaru, Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City, or John Harvey Toyota. They're paying big bucks for all trades right now. They'll cut you a check right there. Tell them Lee sent you.
Welcome back. Lieber King, your host of the Sports Scouting Report podcast. Also, Louisiana Football Magazine. If you're watching this show, we're going to do our preview magazine, and Patrick Taylor's a part of that. We're going to do it by district. Actually, the first district dropped the other day. District 1, Class 5A. District 2, Class 5A. Go to lafootballmagazine.com. This year, you don't have to buy it. It's free. Just go to lafootballmagazine.com. You can read up on all the Shreveport teams, and I know Kenny. I want to introduce Coach Kenny Bourgeois.
How you doing?
Thanks for being here, man.
Thank you.
And we're talking ball, all those Shreveport teams, pretty good teams up in North Louisiana.
Yeah, but it's really good football up there. Comes to mind Calvary Baptist, Evangel have always been good. It's just really good football up there.
Now they have the Airlines and the Haughtons where Dak Prescott went. And
yeah.
Let's talk about Patrick Taylor, Coach, because I'm going to be honest with you. Before I called you 2 years ago, I'm like, being I live in Baton Rouge and I didn't know about Patrick Taylor, I'm like, Coach Bourgeois, what is Patrick Taylor? Tell everybody, because people watching outside of New Orleans.
It's it's an academic school. It was ranked #1 in the state academically.
Wow.
And it's fairly new. It started as a middle school. They moved to the current campus and became a high school. I think around 2012, 2013, and they didn't have football. They started football the year before I got there in 2019 with the middle school team.
Okay.
Coach Tevin Kagan's at Fisher.
Yeah.
He started the team, and he ended up leaving to go to take the Fisher job because that's where he played. And he lives down there. And COVID hit, and they called me to come and kind of get it moved up because that was the plan. And we played 2 years of sub-varsity ball, and then 2 years ago we jumped into varsity.
That did pretty good right away.
The first year we went 5-5, and then lost first-round playoffs to Ascension Episcopal, so 5-6. And then this past year we went 9-3, won a playoff game. Lost to U-High in the second round.
That's a lot accomplished in a short time, Coach.
Appreciate that.
You know, your family heritage is coaching going back before you. Your dad was a long time coach at John Ehret. Tell everybody about your dad.
My dad grew up on the West Bank. He played at John Ehret. He was his senior season. He was on the team that won Ehret's first state championship.
Wow.
He went on to play in junior college and then at East Carolina. Came back home and started coaching at Ehret, and he coached there, I think, 25 years. So I grew up around Ehret. I was their ball boy when I was younger. And yeah, so between him and then I have a couple of uncles that coached. Scott Hildebrand was my uncle. He coached at Holmville and Jesuit. It just kind of, I grew up around coaching. It's kind of what I always knew I wanted to do.
And you're an alumnus of Jesuit High School. I got to mention the Blue Jays since you went there. You were an O-lineman, because you were in our magazine as an O-lineman back in the day at Jesuit. Pretty good O-lineman, by the way. I know you were pretty good. And I want to mention this, and when you mentioned your dad was at Ehret all that time, you were around Cordell Stewart And Reggie Wayne, your dad was there.
Cordell was right when I was born. Reggie, I was a little bit older, but yeah, I was.
It's pretty neat, though.
Yeah.
Huh? Mm-hmm. Where like the Theo Williamses, the Johnny Mitchells.
Yep.
You know, and then the other guys came later. The running back with the Chiefs from LSU.
Yeah.
That played at Arrowhead. Daryl Williams was a heck of a player. But Coach, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to have a little more, tell everybody where Patrick Taylor is located, which people will be surprised, but it's kind of near where we're doing it today at Archbishop Shaw. We'll be right back.
Supreme Chevrolet. Expect more from Supreme Automotive Group in Gonzales.
Welcome back, Lee Burkeen, Louisiana Football Magazine, the Sports Scouting Report podcast. If you're watching the show and you like the show, I ask if you don't mind. If you already have, thank you very much to subscribe for free. Hit the free subscribe button for on YouTube and help us grow. The more we get bigger, the more we can hire people and do more and travel and do more at the schools. And we're here at Archbishop Shaw doing a bunch of shows with a bunch of schools on the West Bank. And speaking of that, going back to Coach Bourgeois with Patrick Taylor High School, the head coach. Coach, tell everybody where Patrick Taylor's located, though.
It's located in Avondale. It's right behind the Hilario Center and the TPC golf course, so not too far from here.
A lot of good stuff around you.
Yeah.
You ever pick up a basketball and allowed to play over there, or is that you need permission from the Pelicans?
We're close. You probably take a car, but it's a nice little area. It's kind of hidden back there. It's around stuff, but it's its own little patch by Jeffco back there.
We used to sell our football magazine in that area. They used to have some newsstands back when magazines were selling and newspapers, right? But I'd deliver them from my house, Coach. I couldn't afford to pay a delivery guy, so when the book would come out, I'd drive all the way to the West Bank.
Really?
And bring like 50 magazines, and they called me in a week ago. We need another 50. I'm like, okay, I'll be there.
Gotcha.
But the Lapalco area was very like stoned in my head with driving around all the time.
Yeah.
And, what do you think of the West Bank? Because again, your dad was at John Ehret on the West Bank. You got Edna Carr, who's coming later today. You got West Jefferson. There was a Helen Cox that was pretty good at. You got Archbishop Shaw. Many more schools. There's so much talent over here. What's your thoughts on the whole?
Growing up here, there's always been a lot of talent. All the teams have always been pretty good. Just a lot of potential over here. A lot of good, talented kids. There's so many schools it gets dispersed, but a lot of really good football in the West Bank.
LB Landry. Don't want to leave them out.
Yeah.
It was OP Walker. They've changed the name a few times, right? Landry, LB Landry.
Just Landry.
And I'm glad you said that. I got to actually change the name on the thing with the high school preview. But any final thoughts, Coach? If anybody's listening, any parents, any recruits, anything you'd like to say about high school football in our state?
I think it's great. High school ball is really just good for helping young men build confidence and learning how to deal with things in life that might hit you, that can tear you down, and just diversity. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
It really helps you learn how to get through diversity and hard stuff. And, it's just real important for building young men. It's important to communities in our state. It's an honor to be able to coach it and give back to it to keep it going for younger kids.
Can you tell everybody before we go what classification Patrick Taylor's in?
We're 3A. We're in District 9 3A.
Oh!
Division 2 for playoffs.
Not the easiest, and they've already been to 2 playoffs in the last two years. Won a playoff game in 2023. Coach, good luck to you in 24.
I appreciate it.
And doing a great job, Coach Bourgeois. Check them out when you hear the name Patrick Taylor and you see the scores in the Picayune or the Advocate or the Shreveport Times, the Monroe News Star, the Lafayette Advertiser, the Lake Charles American Press. You now know a little bit about Patrick Taylor, and they got some good players. We're going to introduce a couple of their players when we come back.
Creed and Creed Law Firm. Serious attorneys, serious injuries.
Welcome back. You got a chance to meet Coach Kenny Bourgeois, the head coach at Patrick Taylor in New Orleans, Louisiana, and they're on the West Bank of the New Orleans area. And we've got one of their players, a senior, You know, they don't have a lot of seniors. It's a young school. They had a big senior group last year, but it's really a young school. And I want to introduce Mason Beach. Mason.
How you doing?
Nice to meet you. Safety.
Yes, sir.
Going to be a senior.
Yes, sir.
6'1", you told me. 165.
Yep.
Maybe a hamburger or two, 170 come season, right?
Yep.
What's it like playing for Coach Bourgeois at Patrick Taylor?
It's awesome, man. He's such a jolly guy. He just brings the mood up of the team at all times. There's always a good morale.
You look like a safety. You know, big, long, tall guy.
Yeah.
You know that. Are you a hitter? Are you an instinctive guy? What is your strength?
Yeah, no, I like to hit. That's my
Come up and cover ground.
Yes,
Do you
sir.
call plays in the huddle by chance?
I like to relay them to the team, but no, I don't. I'm not the one calling them.
Do y'all have that guy? You want to mention? Do you have a guy that does that for the defense?
Not at the moment right now, no. But we're looking for the next.
Because we still got the summer.
Guy.
Still
Yes,
got the
sir.
summer.
Yes, sir.
Tell everybody goals this year. I know y'all want a playoff game. First in the history of the school. What do you think of this year?
Our goal for this year is to win the district. That's our next goal. Yep.
Class 3A.
First district championship.
You don't play any offense.
No.
What about special teams?
Special teams, I do play a little bit of special teams sometimes. I'll do kickoff return.
Okay.
I'll do kickoff. We're always on the punt block.
You're a gunner on special teams. He's a safety. You know, college coaches are looking for guys 6', 6'1" that can hit. Instinctive guys, and a sleeper senior at Patrick Taylor in New Orleans, Louisiana. Check him out. He'll be in our preview magazine that'll come out in a couple of weeks. And I don't know which one will come out, the show before, or you never know. We might put this out after the preview.
Of course. Yeah.
But go to lafootballmagazine.com. We'll have Patrick Taylor previewed. Mason will be in there as a safety. Good luck to you, man.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Good luck to you.
Listen, whatever you're driving right now, Tommy Harvey wants it. Bring it in to Harvey Subaru, Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City, or John Harvey Toyota. They're paying big bucks for all trades right now. They'll cut you a check right there. Tell them Lee sent you.
Welcome back, Lee Burkeen with the Sports Scouting Report Podcast, Louisiana Football Magazine. Remember, if you're mom or dad, Patrick Taylor High School, the preview will be up in August. Just check every day. We do a different district. Right now we're on 5A. And by the time you see this show, it'll probably will be on 4A, and then we go to 3A, 2A, 1A. And we even do the MAIS League, which is 8-man football. But we're going to go ahead and go back to Patrick Taylor. We got one more player to interview. And he is a good-looking kid. He's only a junior, going to be a junior, has a year left of football after this year. He's a defensive tackle. Jackson Norwood. Jackson, nice to see you, man.
Nice to see you too, sir.
I talked to you earlier, and you said you just play D-line, which is good.
Yes, sir.
Some schools you have to go both sides. You kind of wear out, and you don't get a chance to see the full potential of a lineman, because if you're playing the whole game, you just dragging to try to get through a game. But D-line, you get a chance to just focus in, right?
Yes, sir.
How do you like D-line?
D-line's honestly, it's really fun. I like playing D-line. I kind of feel like it's always been my place to be more strategical. And although O-line, it's part of a bigger thing, so is defense. And, just utilizing more technique, it's a lot more fun. Mm-hmm. But I think I could utilize even more technique this year.
I'm gonna tell you what. How old are you? 16?
Yes, sir.
You are like way ready to be in broadcasting one day if you ever wanted to. I mean, you're right on it, man.
I hope so. Yeah. That'd be nice.
What do you want to major in one day?
Honestly, I've been thinking engineering. A lot of people talk to me, say what type of engineering, and haven't thought that far ahead yet, but definitely something with engineering.
Talk about colleges. Like, I know you got another year after this, but what do you think of have you been to any camps? I know you got 2 years left, but are you doing any of the camps for colleges?
Yes, sir. I went to 5 football camps this past summer.
Okay.
I've gone to 3 Tulane camps, 1 LSU camp, and another camp that the Marines were hosting.
Okay. What did you think of Tulane beating USC a year ago? Did that kind of get your interest a little more after their resurgence?
Not exactly. I mean, I was simply looking for camps to go to, and Tulane kind of just came up a lot. So when I saw the camps, I mean, now I definitely see it as more of an option for college football.
Yeah.
Because at first my only option was LSU. Like, I want to go to LSU, want to go to big school. It's SEC, all that.
Right.
But now, coaches just opened my eyes more, told me, don't worry about the big schools, don't worry about all that. It's sometimes better to go for something a little smaller and then work your way up.
And Tulane's a great academic school.
Yes, sir.
Before the winning in football, they great degree. You got Louisiana Tech, you got Southern University, you got Northeast, ULM, and Monroe.
Yes, sir.
McNeese is a good school. Northwestern State, we're talking about it in the room. In Natchitoches, real good school. And Nicholls State, Grambling State with Mickey Joseph, who even went here. I don't know if you knew that, but the head coach of Grambling State went to high school at Shaw.
That's great.
Pretty
That's
neat,
interesting,
huh?
yeah.
So West Bank guy.
Yes,
Good
sir.
to meet you, Jackson.
Good to meet you too, sir.
Good luck to you.
Thank you. You too.
Jackson Norwood, only going to be a junior. He's a class of 226, so he's got 2 years to play coming up. He'll be his junior year. I hope you enjoyed the show for Patrick Taylor, and really glad to get their name out a little more outside of New Orleans, Louisiana, and that's the goal of what we do, is to promote everybody equally and to get everybody's name out there, and really enjoyed interviewing the two kids and Coach Bourgeois. We'll see you soon.
Thanks for watching the Sports Scouting Report with Lieber King.